The key to success is to set the bar so low that you trip over it. When I heard Chris Carr say that in one of her workshops, I just broke out into a huge grin. Totally relate to it. Chris Carr is a thought leader in the wellness, well-being, vegan, plant-based, healing, fitness, that space. And she's quite interesting. She has many wonderful things to share. And after years of experience, um, improving her own life and the lives of thousands upon thousands and thousands of other people, she is very well experienced in the human mind, how to, as I call it, trick ourselves into doing things. um, so whether it's in the fitness, uh, or anything else, any other habit you want to inculcate into your life, it's very important to start small, teeny tiny small, and then be consistent at it. The problem is we all have these huge expectations on ourselves, and then we try to work towards these big goals, and we feel like, okay, we have to do a lot to reach it, otherwise there's no point, and all this pressure. Maybe at certain times it'll help us start off, but very soon the pressure makes us give up, because we have this all or nothing attitude, right? But this setting the bar low, this key to, the secret of taking it really tiny, really small, so small that it may even seem ridiculous, like you're like laughing, like what is even the point of it, but do it anyway. Set the bar that low and start doing anyway, and then keep at it. And when you do that, it, suddenly you see, when you look back over time, you realize that you've gotten quite far. So last month at the vegan market, I listened to Dr. Neetu Bajekal speak. She only spoke for 10 minutes, but she was so good, so inspiring. She is a gynecologist in the UK, and she specializes particularly in menopause, perimenopause, and women's health in that area of life. And she spoke about the importance of lifting weights and how important it is, especially for women, to do this. Post your 35, 40, that, that age group, because as we go towards our perimenopause and menopause, it's we need to build our muscle mass, our bone density, and the only way to do it is by lifting weights. And of course, she didn't say you have to lift like huge amounts of weight and get bulging muscles. None of that. It's more about how to stay strong, fit, and become more healthy. Especially the strength part of it, building the strength part of it. So she inspired me so much that I got home, and from the very next day, I started, 3 times a week, I started lifting weights. And it's not like very heavy weights or anything, very like, 3 kgs and stuff, like 2 kg, 3 kg dumbbells. I lift those, I do a little bit of workout. I started off by only committing to 10 minutes a day. That's it. 10 minutes a day, every other day. That's how I started off. I was like, okay. So I didn't start as 3 times a week. I started as every other day, but only 10 minutes a day. Initially, of course, it's difficult if you're not used to it, any form of exercise. But as you keep going, it gets easier and easier. So then I was doing 10, 10, 10. Then later, I slowly increased it. Then it became, 20 minutes. So because of the 20 minutes each day, it became 3 times a week. So the idea is to get in at least an hour of lifting weights in the entire week. And then to that, I started adding other stuff, because it's actually, once you begin, it's kind of enjoyable. And I realized that sticking to 3 particular days a week, though I'm not very big on strict schedules, sometimes it helps. And this sticking to 3 very specific days a week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sticking to those days, that helped even more. I could plan things around it. And having that break in the middle, the recovery period, it helped me look forward to the next day's working out. I didn't feel like, oh no, I have to do this every day, boo hoo, it feels so free to commit. Three times a week is not much. And of course, I still keep the bar set low and I say at least 10 minutes I'll do. And but it just turned out that I end up doing 20 minutes each time plus another 20 minutes of some other, like flexibility, yoga kind of exercise. So somehow it's extended. A few days ago, my husband was looking at the streak, and I don't really keep track of all these things. But since I do play these exercises online and do it, it's recorded there. So he's like, "Oh, let's look at your streak. You haven't been doing this for too long." And then he was so shocked. He's like, "For a month? You've been doing this for a month already?" I started to laugh. I'm like, yeah, see how, once you begin, time just goes and you don't realize it doesn't feel like you've been doing it for a very long time, except that, yeah, it's been a whole month already. So, this setting the bar low, it's easy for me to do this in other areas of my life. I just don't like to put pressure on myself. But it's been very interesting trying this out on a new area where I was very lax when it came to fitness and keeping myself active and consciously exercising. Rather, I'm active around the house, but to consciously exercise on a regular basis, that was a very difficult topic for me to get into, to start myself on. But the same principle of setting the bar low that I do in other areas of my life, the moment I applied it here, it helped so much. I don't know if this is going to change to more days a week. It's going to become less days a week, more amount of time, less amount of time. It might even dwindle. I never, you never know with these things. But I'm really happy that, okay, so far, more than a month I've been doing this and it feels good. And I feel like this setting the bar low is working very, very well. So as Kriska said, as you listen to this podcast this week, think about some areas in your life where you're putting too much pressure on yourself and therefore not getting things done. And remember what she says, set the bar so low that you trip over it. That is the key to success. All right, thanks for listening to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita, Veganosaurus. And if you're not yet on my newsletter, the Feel Good Tribe, go sign up. If you enjoyed this episode, you're going to like my newsletters. They're quite entertaining, full of stories, and I do share a lot of tips and all kinds of stuff on it. Go read about it. Go to veganosaurus.com/newsletter and find out more and sign up. I look forward to seeing you inside the Feel Good Tribe. Take care. Talk to you again next week. Bye.